I took just one sip of the tea the maid handed me. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself trapped in a cold iron cage, and the man I once loved was standing there with a ring, forcing me to accept his proposal I never imagined. The proposal I had once longed for would appear in such a disgusting way. But no matter how much he begged, I ignored him completely, because I had no intention of ever going back, 7 years ago. I was a world-renowned dancer. That night, my ex wanted to come on stage to give me flowers, but the chandelier above had come loose. In that critical moment, I threw myself forward to shield him, and my leg was crushed instead. From then on, I could no longer dance. He stayed by my side, even broke with his family for me. Back then, I truly thought I had found real love. But on the night before our wedding, he threatened me in front of everyone, saying if I didn't obey, he would call off the engagement without hesitation. I slapped him and announced we were done for life. Friends urged him to comfort me, but he arrogantly declared, within 3 days I would surely come crawling back. He was wrong. That very night, I threw his luggage out onto the street. The next day, I sold the house. The buyer turned out to be my best friend's cousin, a world-famous neurologist. Through her introduction, I began receiving his treatment, and even moved back into the house I had sold. When he said he liked the way I had decorated it, I remembered how I had carefully arranged it as a wedding home, only for my ex to despise it. Now I was completely awake. I vowed to live for myself, to stand again. I cooperated with every treatment. After a month, my legs slowly regained sensation. Meanwhile, my ex still foolishly believed I would crawl back to him until he heard that I was living with the doctor. He panicked, rushed to my old home, and saw us close together. He shoved us apart violently. But I stood in front of the doctor, coldly protecting him, and told my ex to leave. Still, he fantasized that I would apologize and beg forgiveness, or he would cancel the engagement. When I agreed to cancel it, I saw panic and unwillingness in his eyes. But in my heart, all I felt was relief. Even then, he wouldn't give up. Before leaving, he threatened me, saying I would regret it. But I knew the only one who should regret was him. Not long after, he completely lost his mind. He began stalking me. When he saw the doctor leave, he suddenly knelt before me, proposing again. Memories of his vows from 7 years ago flashed in my mind, but that love had long since turned to ashes. Thankfully, the doctor arrived in time. He released his hounds, and my ex collapsed in terror. But watching me walk away with the doctor, he burned with fury. In order to possess me, he conspired with the maid and drugged my cup with sleeping pills. The moment I drank it, my head spun. I only heard the maid whisper an apology. Before everything went dark, when I woke up, I was bound in a remote place. My ex's face twisted with madness, waving cash in one hand, forcing me to stay, and shoving a ring onto my finger. I ripped it off in rage, struggling to escape, but he pinned me down tightly, mocking my broken legs, sneering at my pride as he pressed closer and closer. My fear turned into strength. With all my might, I shoved him away, and in that instant, I miraculously stood up again.